Hi Capricorn, your July 2023 reading. I'm recording on July 3rd, which is of course the day of the Capricorn full moon. This Capricorn full moon is of course ruled by Capricorn's ruler Saturn. Saturn is sitting in Pisces right now, and Saturn is actually making a sextile from its position in Pisces to the full moon in Capricorn. So it's an opportunity with the sextile aspect, isn't it? So what's the opportunity for you this month, starting with this full moon in your sign, Capricorn? Well, with Pisces, there's always that tendency to fall into a victimhood narrative or archetype. It's time to release that in your life and take more responsibility for yourself. Oh, there's a little bit of fun here as well, don't worry, Capricorn. This full moon is also trined by Jupiter, benefic, expansive, opportunistic in Taurus. And that's going to be a nice positive aspect too to this full moon. So what does this mean? Well, this means that you are going to be continuing to focus on what you've been building and growing and cultivating in your life. So take July as a point of focus. What have you been working on? So continue to do that. Let's see what comes up on the cards to expand on this story. The Lovers as the first card out. Oh, beautiful. So this could be, of course, speaking to a very significant romantic relationship. I also have the Eight of Coins and I've got the Five of Wands. The Strength card, another major arcana card, and I have Temperance reversed. What else? I've got the Six of Swords, I've got the Three of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, and finally the Emperor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10 major arcana cards, Capricorn. Okay, so July is going to be a pretty big deal for you. So let's look at these cards now a little deeper. I guess the Lover's card, you just have to go there right away. Of course, it's the first card out. And of course, because this deck illustrates such a sensual embrace between people, this would suggest to me that the love connection and the sensual or sexual relationship you find yourself in at this time in your life is of the utmost importance to you. It seems to me that a lot of you Capricorn are actually transforming through the current relationship that you find yourself in. Now that of course is not going to apply to everybody, so let's not just leave it there. Let's expand on this and go with the cards. If it does resonate for you that this is a very important romantic relationship, maybe we'll say soulmate connection here, meant to be, divine union, I will link a relationship reading that's exclusive on my Patreon for your sign down below. So as not to eliminate any other possibilities, let's move on from the possibility of this being a romantic connection for now. The Eight of Coins, so somebody's hard at work here. They're making something, aren't they? Are you in a business partnership at the moment? This could speak to a work relationship too. This could speak to anybody that you share duties and responsibilities with when it comes to projects, plans, when it comes to anything that you're working on, be it as a group, be it just with one other person, or whatever team and collaboration comes your way. It seems like the people that you work with this month are really important to you. Some of you are going to be doing something that is very sensual, making candles, making scents, fragrances, making something with very luscious and soft or expensive materials. This could be some sort of a treat or a spa treatment, or I'm seeing something that invokes the senses and delights the senses and brings the person that you're perhaps selling this to or offering this to pleasure. Or of course, some of you could be making some sort of a device. This guy is working on some sort of a contraption. What is it? He's putting something into the contraption, and the output is like this perfect medallion, one of the 8 coins. So you're inputting something into a device or a contraption, and the output of that is the finished product. So then again, you might be in some sort of a factory setting, or you may be in some sort of a workshop or studio setting where you're using machinery, where you're using devices to help you to create something this month. So this tells me that maybe some of you are inventing something this month. The Lovers and the Eight of Coins. You know, you could be in a romantic business partnership. You know, you could be working with somebody that you have feelings for or you're attracted to. Or this could, of course, be a friend. The Lovers is just somebody that we really care about, you know, very deeply. That could, of course, apply to more than just your spouse or the person that you're sleeping with at the moment. So the Lovers card and the Eight of Coins is about the creation, right? So they're creating something here, creating a little bit of magic. And with the Eight of Coins, I just get the reference that there's actually something work related here, and that you're inventing something or working on something, or like mechanically making something. Some of you use your hands in work, some of you make things like candles or otherwise, but some of what you guys are making is something very sensual. Others, it's very inventive. Like I see kind of like a experimental route here and using some sort of a device, and maybe you're actually considering bringing something into the world at this time, Capricorn, that actually isn't like something we've seen before, like a beautiful candle or a gorgeous scent or a soft cushion. You might actually be bringing something into the world that's quite unique and not seen before at this time, and could actually, because of the Eight of Coins, this could actually transform people's lives, and it could really change the way they do things. So that's kind of what you're working on at the moment. That's where probably a lot of your focus is going to be in July, and that's good because, you know, the Jupiter in Taurus trine to the full moon today is just telling you to keep going, keep working on what's good for you. Like it continue to put focus on what's already been growing in your life, basically. But there's something else that seems to have been going on. The Five of Wands, as we see a sort of, well, it is quite a passionate scene, isn't it? It's very fiery, it's very ignited, but there is always this indication because of you know, Saturn being somewhat of a difficulty at times, and we're kind of seeing like this difficulty around being seen and visibility. It's like in this Five of Wands at the moment, like you are thinking a lot about getting seen. Maybe it's because of what you're working on right now. Maybe you really want that to be in the spotlight or kind of be recognized above other things that are similar, other things that are on the market. You just want to kind of like be seen and be recognized as something else, and that's where there's a little bit of difficulty. This could suggest that there's a lot of people doing what you're doing, and you kind of have to maintain a lot of effort and stamina and kind of perseverance, and you really have to fight for what you want. But other than this, I think some of you are actually thinking about an argument, a fight, something that has happened in the past. I think just not the too recent past. I think, sorry, the very recent past. I think this is just pretty fresh, this kind of contention, this strife, this stress in your life, drama, and it looks like there has been some, the emotion of anger is coming up a little bit there for me at this time. And so you've got that on your mind a lot. So the Temperance card in reverse recently, well, okay, I mean, you could have been dealing with a Leo, Capricorn, and kind of picking up that sign. Do I have any other energies at play here at the moment? Not jumping at me right this moment. I'm getting a really strong Leo energy at this time. Okay, but as well as that, the Temperance card in reverse. Okay, yes, this is Sagittarius, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's throw in Aries. We've got the Emperor here. So you might have been dealing with the fire sign. There might have been tension with the fire sign. There might have been like quite a demanding nature around a fire sign, and there's almost like this tit for tat with the fire sign. I pick up like it's like a competitiveness. It could be even like a family, like sibling rivalry, or sort of even like still seeking validation from a parent, or there's something, even if you guys are students in the same field, like there's just a lot of competition with you in this fire sign. Anyway, let's drop the fire sign for a second. The Temperance card in reverse. Okay, so this is what's bothering you. It is in the past. Okay, so this is the sort of out of harmony energy when we see this beautiful Temperance card reversed. We're seeing something basically that is, the pendulum has swung in a direction that feels uncomfortable now. So somebody's taken liberties. I think, Capricorn, you could even be a little disappointed in yourself because you stooped to that level where you had already, you know, kind of like made yourself not seem holier than thou, but like you had always presented yourself to be above that, or presented yourself to be quite principled on the matter. And the Temperance card can be a little, you know, it is very ascended, but in the reversal we can have a little bit of haughtiness or hypocrisy. And the reversal of the Temperance is sort of positioning yourself in a place now, you know, where you further to fall if you're on that pedestal of like, Capricorn is so, you know, great. Capricorn, you know, well, Capricorn is so great, of course, but like, I'm not arguing that, but you know, you were seen and respected and kind of, you know, very much admired from this part, or this pedestal you're on. And that comes with its pitfalls, doesn't it? Because then you got to fall down if you're ever on a pedestal. It's not the best place to be, on a pedestal. But I think Capricorn, I'm getting a little bit, I'm running off with my thoughts here a bit, but what I do think about this is, Capricorn, you could be a bit disappointed in yourself, because I saw that you stooped to what? Stoop to some sort of a level here that it's not usually you. And you could be reeling over that, and you could kind of feel a little bit embarrassed over that, because, you know, that has just shown you up a little bit. Now, what was that? Why did that have to happen like that? That was annoying. Well, in the subconscious, I guess, the Strength card is speaking to why that might have happened. One of the reasons why that had to have happened. There's others that I can see here. I'm going to speak about the Three of Swords now in just a moment too. Looks like quite a similar lady, actually, that's just captured my attention. Oh, let's just wait for that wind to settle just for 1 second. Uh-oh. What has gone missing on me? The Chariot and the Emperor card, or just the Chariot card? Okay. Let's relocate. Got it. Oh, okay. I don't even need the spread to be a spread. I already know what I'm seeing here. Okay, so I was seeing that the Strength card and the Three of Swords, they looked very alike. They looked very, very alike in the way that their hair was styled. So I think this is the sort of why this all happened. Why did you have to kind of like be seen in such a way, or like you were annoyed by this, like you were feeling like, oh, I let myself down there. Okay, so why? Okay, well, because in the subconscious part of the reading, the Strength card is here. This is part of an old test, I guess. Test is an annoying word because no one likes tests. Nobody wants to feel like they're being tested, but tests are necessary, especially the spiritual kind of tests, right? Okay, so that's what the Strength card was. It was a test. You had been progressing in such a way, and this has been a journey for you since last July, like almost a year ago, July, August. You were on your merry way around something, and that could be when the idea, the relationship, the choices that you made, the creation, the birthing began almost a year ago, July, August, let's say. And there could have been bumps in the road, but there was one particular bump that stuck with you, and it always was your kind of bone of contention, or your cross to bear, or something that you wanted to prove. Like, you know, you wanted to prove you were better than this. You wanted to prove that you were a cut above the rest on this. And I feel like there's been a recent test where you have basically felt like you've let yourself down by being too extreme, by losing the run of yourself, by losing your kind of discipline, or like by falling away from your center. The pendulum just swung way too far. And the Strength card in your subconscious was like, this had to happen so that you could realign towards your goal, towards this relationship, towards this creation, towards what you're birthing, towards what you're choosing in this life, with a stronger sense of integrity. Because the Strength card, like, you know, the lion, the pure heart, the Leo energy, the good, right, the brave, the honorable, that's how you're going to have more success. So the test had to happen so that you could continue on this journey about a year later from its origin story with a stronger sense of integrity. I'm going to talk about this chick in just a second. The Six of Swords. Okay, so let me think about the Six of Swords. In about 3 weeks' time, thereabouts, the sun is going to move into Leo around the 22nd, 23rd. And at that point, a lot of this stress is going to be far past you, right? So there's going to be a letting go at that time, and there's going to be some sort of a release. So this release can happen on a mental level from you. You just don't really think about it anymore. You've shifted your mindset. You've released that kind of victimized or victimhood archetype that you might have been working with. Oh, this is so unfair. Why did this happen to me? Oh, this is terrible. My life sucks. Things like this always happen to me. I was really, I was hurt when I was a kid, or something terrible might have happened, like you might have been bullied, something awful. But that isn't the story today. So we are not in an empowered state when we're still living in the narrative of the time that we were victimized. And it sucks to be victimized, of course, but it isn't a permanent state of affairs. And so you could be releasing a lot of that on a mental level, and that could have been a block for you on the journey, on your merry way. But I actually also think that on quite a literal physical level, you're going to be released from something, let go from something, not required anymore, told that it would be great if you were not looking forward to something, and then you found out that you weren't going to have to do it anyway. So it could be a really gentle release like that. We can have lots of different types of gentle releases. We can release ourselves from some sort of a situation that's been toxic. Of course, that's nice. But I feel like also you might be just let go from something. Now, I don't want you to be worried and think like, oh my God, am I going to lose my job? Am I going to be let go from my living situation? No, it's a very gentle release with the Six of Swords. It's going to, at least when you look back at this period, you'll have figured that that was going to be one of the turning points around something that has been really stressful for you. So I think that a gentle release is coming up. It's a necessary release. I also think for some of you, Capricorn, you've got to let go of this, whatever the Temperance card whole shtick was, where you kind of fell from a pedestal, or where you were seen in a different light. You were kind of caught out there on the spot, or something about you was revealed perhaps, or whatever that was, and maybe actually it wasn't publicly revealed, maybe just to yourself. And that's where we're going to get into the Three of Swords now. You made a realization about yourself, I think. And I think now that you're going to be moving on from a lot of that. It's like, forgive yourself, release shame, basically. When we're carrying a lot of shame internally, we can get very defensive, can't we? Because we can almost pick up everything that's said to us or directed towards us as an attack, because we're not really feeling secure, because we're carrying shame and we want to deflect, okay? So I think the journey could be towards letting go of some shame as well, on more an emotional level. So we've got a mental letting go, perhaps we've got quite a literal release or letting go, or there's an emotional letting go. That could be how that Six of Swords manifests. I've just noticed here that on this version of the Six of Swords, there's a mask here on the boat. Don't usually see that. That could represent a release of pretense, or a release of some sort of a persona, or some sort of a falsehood or concealment. So the Three of Swords, furthermore, the reason that this all happened, the higher self is now speaking and saying, this pain will release, the crying, the swords, the hand on the heart, and now I'm crying, like, how could this happen? Well, the higher self is saying, like, you needed to realize this about yourself. You needed to realize this about maybe other people. The truth hurts, okay? Capricorn knows that. Saturn is your ruler. This full moon, ruled by Saturn, your ruler, in Capricorn today, is a bit of a reality check. Again, with your ruler, and of course the ruler of this full moon in Capricorn, transiting the sign of the victim, Pisces. Of course, I'm not calling anybody with the placements of Pisces a victim. That's just one of the shadow archetypes of the sign of Pisces. Every sign has a shadow and a light. Well, so the Three of Swords might be asking you, like, have you been kind of like stuck in this victim mindset? And I mentioned this in my full moon reflection video that I posted today. But I was speaking to a friend about it. When life is hard and when things happen that are unfair, and we go back to childhood, we go back to any period of our life really where something unfair has happened, through school, through college, through work, in family relationships, or just something that's just outright unjust, and fucked up. Okay, so sometimes, somebody might say to you, very common response, well, you should just get over it. Obviously, it's not helpful. You should just change your mindset. And then the common response is like, well, that's easier said than done. Is it really that hard? That's what I was kind of talking to my friend about. Is it actually that hard to change your mindset? I don't always think it is. I actually think that maintaining that it is difficult is staying in the victim mindset, isn't it? Because we're not empowered then. So the Three of Swords is a little bit of a, tough love isn't always well received. And this is the card of tough love from the highest self. It's time to let go, and it's time to rewrite the course moving forward. You're the captain of this ship, so to speak. And like it actually now, the last three cards of the reading are very empowered, very strong. So we're saying goodbye to that storyline we've been talking about, and we're looking at what's expanding as July ends and we lead into August. Very, very strong energy. So let's first of all go with the Knight of Wands. This is just that your environment is really supported at the moment for fast-paced movement. So everybody in your environment that you link up with, or people that are coming into your life, or the people that you meet when you're doing your routine, your job, your work, and even in your free time, that's all like kind of just pay close attention to their attitude. Do they look like they're slow or lacking in motivation, or do they look like they're kind of like hyped up and busy and energized and healthy looking and sort of alive? That's going to be a good indication of where you should gravitate towards, Capricorn, because your environment is the Knight of Wands. It's fast paced, it's action oriented, it's motivated, it's full of direction and purpose. So that's where your frequency is going to be very well matched when you find yourself in those kind of situations or around these kind of vibrant, bustling people. And this could also just suggest, Capricorn, that it's a very busy month for you, and you're going to be doing a lot of movement, travel, and of course, navigation. I hear navigation coming up now ever since I saw that Six of Wands, Six of Swords with the little mask, and the kind of you're kind of controlling the direction. I feel like there is something that you're navigating. Well, we're always navigating life, aren't we? As I was recording the Capricorn full moon little reflection, it's just a 6-minute video I posted. I'll actually link it down here below. I had a view of a lighthouse. So the lighthouse is the sort of navigation center in a sense, or the kind of like the hub of navigation. So finding your way could come up this month, and being helped and aided. That's another thing with the Six of Swords, I should say. Oftentimes this card speaks to a letting go, but it also speaks to allowing yourself to be helped. Two really strong cards to finish the reading. The Chariot and the Emperor card, both cardinal signs, Cancer and Aries. So, and like you, Capricorn, you're a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are all about pioneering spirit, getting up and going, making things happen. They're the most dynamic modality of the zodiacs, the cardinals. They're just the entrepreneurs, they're the self-starters, they're the initiators. So you are going to be ending the month in a really strong place. I think that this happens once you let go, and once you have that release, you feel more empowered. These cards, like, look at the Emperor. He is like a boss. He is just holding these stunning staffs, I guess, or wands, and residing over his kingdom. And he's basically been raised up. He's elevated. He's so strong and formidable, actually, in a really, really like dignified position. The sun is, you know, exalted in Aries, and the sun is all about our essence and our ego. And this man is wearing a crown, you know, so there is ego here, but that's okay, because the ego is expressed now by the end of the month in a very pure way. Like, I am who I am, I want what I want, and I'm going to get what I want. The Chariot card, beautiful. I mean, what more can I say about this? It's just kind of fueling the success, the victory that you see this month. So this Emperor and Chariot tells me that there is going to be victory and a win for you, and an advantage that you should play to your strengths. You have an advantage. That's what's coming up for me. So Capricorn, I'll leave the relationship reading linked down below for you. I will leave the Capricorn full moon reflection linked down below too. And with that, I ask you to perhaps subscribe, comment, like, share this video. It would really help me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with the blustery, the blustery spread. I'll talk to you soon.